Hey, it's Anthony Iannarino, thesalesblog.com, right here, youtube.com/Iannarino, and author of The Only Sales Guide You'll Ever Need and The Lost Art of Closing. That is a dog. Hey, knock that off, you. They're sitting in my chair and he's digging for something. I don't know what it is. And this is a serious video, so he has to stop. I took notes here because I want to make a couple points. This week I wrote something that I want to make a point about, and it's the difference between empathy and compassion. Empathy means you understand what somebody else is feeling. And that's an important thing to do. And there's a lot of people on social media who talk about how much empathy they have and that you should be more empathetic like them. But the fact of the matter is, empathy is not enough. Compassion is different. And I wrote it this way. Empathy is walking in someone else's shoes for a mile. Walking a mile in someone else's shoes. That's what empathy is. Compassion is recognizing that those shoes are 2 sizes too small for the person and then helping them get out of that and into something that fits them better. That's not easy to do, and I think it's harder than ever, and I want to make a couple points here. Almost every company you come in contact with is struggling to produce results in some areas. And that's why we're coming in and we're sharing what's going on in the world, and we're trying to explain the dissonance that they feel so that they get a deeper understanding of what they have to change and why they have to change right now. But know that they're struggling. They're not dumb people. They're not very, very difficult people. They're not trying to be difficult about producing results. They're doing the best they can with a whole bunch of circumstances and context that you don't understand. So you need to have the empathy and compassion to say, they have a struggle. I don't get a full picture of it. I don't feel what they feel enough, so I need to get a deeper understanding of that. And that starts when you're open to listening and not coming in with some sort of judgment about they should already be doing this and they should know this other thing. You're there to serve people. The second thing I want to tell you is that if the people that you're calling on already had the answers that they needed, they would already be doing something about it. So in a lot of cases, you show up and they haven't done something about it because they don't have the answers yet to do something. Your job is to explain that dissonance to them and help them, not to judge them. So you want to come in and say, here's some choices, here's some things, here's some understanding of how you might think about this challenge. The other thing is, in some cases, they know what they should be doing, but if it was easy to make the change, they would have made it. It's not easy to make. There's changes in operating procedures. There's changes in investments. There's changes in whole business models going on right now. And you look at Blockbuster, they didn't change. Netflix comes in and disrupts the whole business. And that's what's happening right now in the digital age. So there's this stress and there's this pressure that goes around trying to produce results in difficult times where change is accelerating and there are deeper and more dramatic shifts in the overall economy and how we do business today. You also have to understand that people are under stress. They're operators. They're trying to produce a result. They're being asked to produce it with fewer resources. They're being asked to produce more with less. They're being asked to produce it faster. All of this puts tremendous pressure on people. And then they have their clients giving them pressure, like you have clients that are pressuring you for better results. They're dealing with all of that stuff and serving customers themselves. So you have to have empathy and compassion and understand these people are struggling and you're here to serve them. A lot of times the reason people are struggling is because they haven't made the investment. And we know that they need to make the investment, and we know that they can't have better and cheaper, and some part of them knows that they can't have the faster and better and still be cheap. They need to make the greater investment. But that's not an easy decision to make. I've spoken with clients where the investment that I asked them to make in one business was $1 million over the course of a year, and in some cases $2 million of additional investment. And I recognize how difficult it is to go to somebody and say, I need you to spend $2 million more than you're spending right now, because I've done it. And it's not easy for them. And if they could snap their fingers and spend $2 million more without disrupting their business and their financials, they'd do it. If they could go to their clients and ask them for money, they would do it. But it's difficult to do. There's so much competitive pressure. So the difference between empathy and compassion is empathy means I get where they're coming from. I understand their pain. Compassion means doing something about it. So what can you do about it? You can take more time. You can listen. You can spend time generating alternative ideas. You can be resourceful and help them find a way to do as much as they can do with the investment that they can make. You can spend more time explaining to them the dissonance that they experience and why they can't have what they want. You can help them share with their company all the things that they're going to need to do to come up with the investment to eventually produce those results. But if you want to be a trusted advisor and if you want to be consultative, you need to do this without judging people, and you need to understand if you were in their shoes, you would feel the same way that they do. And they're under tremendous pressure and stress. A lot of times this time of the year brings that out in people. So be consultative, be a trusted advisor, and be compassionate. Be more than empathetic, be compassionate, and do your best to help people produce the results they need, because long term, that's really what this whole thing is about. It's about serving other people and helping them do better than they can do without you. If you get that right, I promise you selling is easy. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit subscribe. This is Everyday. You knew I was recording, Scamper. What was with all that noise? Look at how good Chelsea is. You were just being a rascal.